Speak with confidence. Command attention every time. Imagine walking into a room and every eye turns to you, not because you shouted the loudest, but because your presence demands attention. Imagine speaking and people not only listen but lean in, eager for your words. That is the power of confident speaking. And it's not reserved for a select few. Today, I'm going to show you how to unlock that power, how to command attention every time you speak, and how to make your voice unforgettable. Confidence begins the moment you enter a room, long before you utter a single word. It starts with the way you carry yourself, the way you occupy space, and the energy you radiate. People are constantly observing, consciously or subconsciously, the signals your body sends. Your posture, your gestures, your facial expressions, they all communicate messages about your level of confidence. When you walk into a space, standing tall with shoulders back and head held high, are already sending a powerful message. You belong here and your presence matters. This is the first step in commanding attention. When you move with intention, you exude a quiet authority that draws people in without you having to say a word. Confidence is contagious, and when others sense it in you, they are naturally more receptive to your message. Owning your space isn't just about posture. It's about the energy you bring into the environment. Confident speakers enter rooms with a sense of calm certainty. They are not anxious or fidgety. They are aware of the space, the audience, and the moment. They understand that attention is a two-way street. It's not only about making people notice you, but also about creating a presence that makes others feel seen and included. This balance between self-assurance and attentiveness allows you to establish authority without dominance. The way you move, stand, and even breathe communicates volumes before a single word leaves your mouth. Another crucial element of owning your space is non-verbal communication. Every gesture, glance, and micro-expression contributes to the perception of confidence. When you make eye contact with people in the room, you acknowledge their presence and engage them directly. When you use deliberate, controlled gestures, you add weight and clarity to your message. Avoid nervous habits like crossing arms, fidgeting, or looking at the floor, as these can signal insecurity. Instead, embrace open body language that conveys openness, strength, and approachability. Beyond physicality, owning your space also involves mental preparation. Confident speakers know their purpose and internalize the message they intend to deliver. They visualize themselves speaking successfully, commanding attention, and engaging the audience. This mindset translates into physical presence because your inner state always reflects outwardly. When you step into a room with clarity of intention, people respond to your confidence instinctively. They are drawn to your energy, engaged by your composure, and ready to listen. Ultimately, owning your space is a skill that can be cultivated with awareness, practice, and intentionality. It is the foundation of confident speaking, the first signal that you are someone worth listening to, and the invisible force that sets the tone for every interaction. When you master this, you don't just enter a room, you command it, making people not only hear your words but feel your presence. Every word you speak carries power, but that power is amplified when your speech is guided by purpose. Speaking with purpose means understanding why you are speaking, who your audience is, and what you want them to take away from your message. It's not about filling silence with noise or stringing together words for the sake of talking. Purposeful speaking is intentional, deliberate, and focused. When you speak with clarity of intent, your audience can feel it, and people naturally pay attention to someone who knows exactly what they are talking. This clarity transforms ordinary communication into influence, allowing your words to resonate far beyond the moment you say them. To speak with purpose, you first need to identify your core message. What is the single most important idea you want to convey? When you can distill your speech into one central thought, every sentence, story, and example you deliver should support that idea. This eliminates ambiguity and ensures that your audience leaves understanding not just your words, but the impact behind them. Confident speakers never speak randomly. They craft their message carefully, weighing every word and considering the effect it will have on listeners. Purpose-driven communication creates a sense of authority and credibility because people sense that you are in control of both your ideas and your delivery. Another critical aspect of purposeful speaking is the ability to anticipate your audience's needs. Effective communicators understand their listeners' perspectives, concerns, and interests. They adapt their language, tone, and examples to connect directly with the audience. Purposeful speech isn't just about what you say, it's about how it lands with those listening. When your words align with the audience's expectations and emotions, your message becomes compelling, memorable, and actionable. This alignment also builds trust because people feel that you are speaking to them, not at them. Purposeful speaking also requires eliminating distractions in your delivery. Filler words, tangents, or meandering points dilute the impact of your message. Every word should serve a function, whether it is to inform, inspire, or persuade. When you focus on the intention behind your speech, the power of your words multiplies. Audiences are drawn to speakers who communicate with clarity, conviction, and consistency. And purposeful language signals confidence in both your content and yourself. Finally, speaking with purpose isn't limited to formal presentations. It's a mindset you carry in every interaction. Whether addressing a small team, a large audience, or one-on-one, your purpose shapes your tone, body language, and choice of words. When you internalize this approach, speaking confidently becomes second nature because every word is backed by a clear reason and intention. The energy you radiate is one of certainty and focus, and people instinctively respond by listening, respecting, and following your lead. Purpose transforms ordinary speech into meaningful communication, and it is the hallmark of every confident speaker. Silence is one of the most underestimated tools in confident speaking. While many people feel compelled to fill every gap with words, the truth is that pauses hold immense power. Mastering the pause is not about hesitating out of nervousness. It's about creating space for your message to resonate. Every pause signals confidence because it shows you are comfortable with stillness, in control of your thoughts, and not afraid of letting your words breathe. When used intentionally, a pause can emphasize critical points, give your audience time to reflect, and create anticipation that keeps listeners fully engaged. A pause can serve multiple purposes, each enhancing your command of attention. For instance, placing a brief pause before a key statement builds suspense and heightens interest. It draws listeners in, making them lean forward, eager to hear what comes next. Similarly, pausing after delivering an important idea allows the audience to process the information, making it more memorable. This is particularly effective when you want to highlight statistics, a powerful quote, or a story with emotional weight. By controlling the rhythm of your speech through pauses, you take charge of the listener's focus rather than letting the words rush past unnoticed. Mastering the pause also involves understanding your natural speaking patterns. Many people rush through sentences when nervous, diluting the impact of their words. Confident speakers intentionally slow down, allowing each word to carry its intended weight. A well-timed pause conveys thoughtfulness, authority, and self-assurance. It signals to the audience that you are deliberate, articulate, and in command of the conversation. In contrast, continuous, rapid speech can create anxiety in listeners, making them disengage or tune out entirely. By embracing the pause, you create a calm, commanding presence that draws attention effortlessly. Another aspect of the pause is its ability to convey emotion. Silence can communicate seriousness, empathy, or suspense in ways that words alone cannot. A pause can create dramatic effect in storytelling, signal reflection during a serious point, or allow humor to land more effectively. Skilled speakers use silence as an emotional tool, subtly guiding the audience's reactions and deepening their connection with the message. It's not just what you say, but how you orchestrate the space between your words that makes your speech unforgettable. Finally, comfort with silence demonstrates inner confidence. People who rush to speak at every moment often do so out of fear or insecurity. Those who master the pause, however, show that they are fully present, unafraid of judgment, and fully engaged with their audience. The ability to pause, reflect, and then continue speaking with clarity transforms ordinary communication into compelling performance. Pauses create power, presence, and impact, three pillars of confidence, speaking that ensure your message is not only heard but remembered. Stories are the bridge between ideas and emotions, and mastering storytelling is a cornerstone of confident speaking. Facts and statistics may inform, but stories inspire, connect, and linger in the minds of your audience long after the speech ends. When you incorporate storytelling into your speaking, you create a shared experience that draws people in, making them care about your message on a deeper level. Every confident speaker understands that connection is as important as content, and stories are the most powerful way to achieve it. Effective storytelling starts with authenticity. Your stories should be real, relatable, and rooted in experience. Audiences can sense when a speaker is being genuine, and authenticity creates trust. Whether you share a personal challenge, a lesson learned, or a moment of transformation, your willingness to be vulnerable and open creates a bond with listeners. This bond makes them more attentive, more empathetic, and more receptive to the broader message you are delivering. The goal is not just to entertain, but to illuminate a point in a way that resonates emotionally. Another crucial aspect of storytelling is structure. Every story should have a beginning, middle, and end with a clear point that ties back to your main message. The beginning grabs attention, the middle builds tension or engagement, and the conclusion delivers the insight or lesson. By structuring your stories effectively, you ensure that they are easy to follow and impactful. Confident speakers use stories strategically to reinforce key points, illustrate abstract concepts, and make their message memorable. A well-placed story can transform a complex idea into something tangible and relatable. Storytelling also involves delivery. The way you speak, your tone, pacing, and pauses all contribute to the story's effect. By varying your voice and using expressive language, you can bring characters, situations, and emotions to life. Pauses, for instance, allow moments of suspense or reflection to sink in, creating a more immersive experience. Body language and facial expressions further enhance the narrative, making your story not just heard but felt. Confidence comes through when a speaker tells a story without hesitation, fully inhabiting the moment and guiding the audience with presence and intention. Finally, storytelling amplifies influence. People remember how you made them feel far more than the data you presented. A story creates emotional resonance, turning listeners into participants rather than passive observers. When your audience connects emotionally, they are more likely to trust you, be persuaded by your ideas, and act upon your message. Confident speakers understand that attention is fleeting, but stories create lasting impact. By weaving storytelling into your communication, you move beyond mere speaking. You inspire, connect, and leave a legacy with every word you share. Your voice is your most powerful instrument as a speaker, and mastering it is essential for confident communication. Confidence is not only visible through posture and presence, but it is also audible through the way you speak. The way you modulate your tone, project your voice, and control your pace communicate authority, energy, and conviction before your words are fully understood. A strong, confident voice draws attention naturally, commands respect, and ensures that your message resonates. When you own your voice, people not only hear your words, they feel them. Projection is one of the most critical elements of a confident voice. Speaking too softly can make even the most powerful message fall flat, where speaking too loudly or forcefully can overwhelm or alienate your audience. Confident speakers learn to project their voice in a way that fills the room effortlessly without straining. Projection is not shouting. It's about controlling your breath, supporting your voice with your diaphragm, and maintaining clarity. When done correctly, your words carry authority and confidence, compelling listeners to engage without effort. Equally important is tone and variation. Monotone delivery drains energy from your speech, making even passionate ideas feel flat. Confident speakers use vocal variety, intentionally changing pitch, pace, and emphasis to convey excitement, seriousness, urgency, or humor. This dynamic approach keeps listeners engaged and emphasizes key points naturally. For example, slowing down to highlight an important message or raising your tone slightly to convey enthusiasm draws attention to the moments that matter most. When your voice reflects your emotions authentically, it becomes a powerful vehicle for connection. Clarity is another vital component. Mumbling, slurring words, or speaking too quickly diminishes the impact of your message and undermines your confidence. Confident speakers articulate their words clearly, enunciate properly, and pace their delivery to ensure understanding. This clarity signals competence and authority, helping the audience trust and follow your message. Even complex ideas can be communicated effectively when delivered with precision and control. Finally, confidence in your voice comes from practice and awareness. The more you train your vocal delivery, the more natural it becomes. Record yourself, notice patterns, and refine areas that need improvement. Use breathing exercises to support projection and control nerves. When you develop comfort and mastery of your voice, it translates into an unmistakable presence. People are drawn to speakers who speak with confidence because a strong voice conveys certainty, credibility, and authenticity. When you own your voice, you don't just speak, you captivate, influence, and inspire. Vulnerability is often misunderstood as weakness, but in confident speaking, it is one of the most powerful tools you can wield. True confidence does not mean presenting a flawless, untouchable persona. It means being authentic, honest, and willing to show your humanity. When you embrace vulnerability, you allow your audience to see the real person behind the words. This connection fosters trust, relatability, and engagement, making your message far more impactful. Confident speakers understand that admitting imperfection Sharing personal experience or acknowledging challenges does not undermine their authority, it enhances it. Vulnerability creates a bridge between the speaker and the audience. People are naturally drawn to those who are genuine, who display courage by sharing their struggles or insights. For instance, admitting a past mistake or fear demonstrates that you are human, relatable, and capable of growth. This transparency invites the audience to invest emotionally, listen actively, and engage with your message on a deeper level. By being vulnerable, you transform a simple speech into a shared experience, where listeners feel connected and inspired rather than distant or judged. Another essential aspect of vulnerability is emotional courage. It's the willingness to express your feelings, whether it's excitement, concern, passion, or empathy. Confident speakers do not hide their emotions. They use them strategically to create resonance and meaning. A heartfelt pause, a personal anecdote, or a candid reflection can be far more persuasive than logic alone. When your audience senses that you are speaking from the heart, your words carry weight and authenticity that commands attention naturally. Vulnerability humanizes your presence and creates a magnetic energy that draws people in. Vulnerability also allows you to address difficult or challenging topics with integrity. Confident speakers are unafraid to tackle sensitive issues because they approach them with honesty and respect. Sharing your perspective or admitting uncertainty shows humility and strength simultaneously. It demonstrates that confidence is not about having all the answers, but about being willing to engage thoughtfully, listen actively, and communicate authentically. This blend of courage and openness encourages the audience to trust your insights and value your perspective. Finally, embracing vulnerability strengthens your overall presence. It balances authority with empathy, power with authenticity. When you are comfortable showing your true self, you radiate an inner confidence that is undeniable. People remember speakers who are genuine, relatable, and unafraid to be human. Vulnerability, when paired with preparation, clarity, and purpose, transforms ordinary communication into extraordinary influence. By embracing your imperfections and speaking from the heart, you command attention not through intimidation, but through authenticity, leaving a lasting impression on everyone who listens. Confidence in speaking is not about perfection. It is about presence, purpose, and authenticity. Every interaction you have, whether in a boardroom, on stage, or in a casual conversation, is an opportunity to make an impression. By stepping into your power, owning your space, and embracing your voice, you naturally command attention. Your posture, your gestures, and your energy all communicate confidence before a single word is spoken. This physical presence, combined with clarity of intent, creates an unshakable foundation that draws people in and ensures your message lands effectively. Speaking with purpose transforms ordinary communication into influence. When every word is intentional and every sentence is aligned with a central message, your audience not only hears your words, they internalize them. Purposeful speaking shows clarity of thought, decisiveness, and authority. It allows listeners to engage fully, process your ideas meaningfully, and remember your key points long after the conversation ends. This alignment between intention and expression is what separates ordinary speakers from those who leave a lasting impact. Equally important is the emotional connection you create through storytelling, vocal mastery, and vulnerability. Stories humanize your message and create resonance, making your speech memorable and relatable. Mastery of tone, pace, and projection ensures that your words carry authority and energy, while pauses amplify your points and allow your audience to absorb every idea. Vulnerability adds authenticity, trust, and relatability, creating a magnetic presence that commands attention effortlessly. When these elements come together, speaking becomes a transformative act that inspires, engages, and motivates. Ultimately, confidence in speaking is a skill that can be developed, refined, and mastered. It requires self-awareness, practice, and intentionality. Every time you step into a conversation with clarity, courage, and authenticity, you elevate your presence and influence. Commanding attention is not about dominating the room. It is about showing up fully, expressing your ideas with conviction, and connecting deeply with your audience. When you speak with confidence, you don't just communicate, you leave an unforgettable mark on everyone who listens. Thank you for watching and supporting this video. Your time and attention mean the world. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated with more content. That helps you speak with confidence and command attention every time. Until next time, keep practicing, keep improving, and keep letting your voice be heard. Goodbye and see you in the next video.